This is 50 LEGO Star Wars clone battle packs, and I'm gonna be opening them 50 different ways, and then I'm gonna add them to this clone army, which may not be the largest clone army you've ever seen before. In fact, LEGO themselves currently holds the record for that. But stay tuned, because there's a plan in the works to claim that title from LEGO, and you too can be a part of it. Okay, so to get things kicked off, let's head upstairs and make some popcorn. One of these is not like the others. Here we go. Now with all 50 of these battle packs so perfectly lined up, it's time to start opening them. Let's do this. That was satisfying. First, we have the classic tape on the box, which you can simply cut with a pair of scissors after asking your parents' permission. Or if you don't have scissors or parents, I suppose you can also just peel away the tape, assuming you don't care about the quality of the box. However, some people do in fact care about the box and will only cut the left side because they're not psychopaths. You can also take a safer route and use a butter knife. Or how about this Lego knife? A lightsaber? A Lego sword? A sharper Lego sword? A sharp man with sharp scissors? Sharp cheddar cheese? No way! Sharp cheddar cheese for the win!
Thank you so much!
Or perhaps this Lego power saw.
Nice.
Or even this Lego wrench piece. And while a brick separator works well for some box types, it was actually super hard to break the tape, so yeah, don't try this. I realized though that opening up all these boxes was gonna require some extreme measures, but it's for the clone army, so let's keep going. One thing I learned as a kid was to not use kitchen knives to cut cardboard. But I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna cut this box right in half in a really satisfying way. Oh yeah. Then I thought, why stop there? Let's cut out a shape. Whoopah! This was actually so fun. But let's not forget that LEGO changed the box type halfway through production from the tapes to the dreaded thumb tabs. These bad boys are nearly impossible to break without damaging either the box or your thumb, if not both. So to save your thumbs, use your teeth instead. But seriously, I think the actual best way to open these is by using the brick separator to pry away the box from the glue. Otherwise, you just end up cutting the tabs like this, and that's no bueno. But that didn't stop me from grabbing a few more tools to see what new creative ideas I could come up with. Okay, here's a fun one. I used a drill to cut out the LEGO logo and pulled all the baggies, but it did still rip the box. Then I tried the gentle technique using the screwdriver. And that worked pretty well too. I felt like that was a little too gracious though, so I whipped out the hammer and went to town on those corners. But it didn't open, so I kinda just sat there looking at it until I realized I could use the back of the hammer. But then I realized I did something terribly, terribly wrong because I had skipped one of the most common ways of opening a LEGO box, and that's by cutting the wrong side, which I realize I do about 25% of the time, so comment below if this has ever happened to you and if you think that we should seek therapy. Next up, call a lifeguard because
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
I'm talking toilet, shower, washer, dishwasher, an actual lake. Shoot, now I have to go get that. While those are soaking, let's head over to science class. Today in food science, we're going to be testing out how long it takes to melt a 501st battle pack in Sprite.
Why is it spicy?
Woo! Lego Science ASMR. Next, I tested to see if Crisco could oil up the tape enough to stop the adhesive, and, well, it probably would work if the oil actually soaked into the adhesive more than the box. But just to be sure, I also tried peanut butter and... Bruh. This would also probably work with enough time. But then I got serious and grabbed some rubbing alcohol, and that definitely worked the best and only in about 5 hours. As for the shower box, after about 10 minutes it was pretty deteriorated. And as for the one in the toilet, it sucked up so much of the water that it was barely submerged any longer. As for the dishwasher, in about 20 minutes, this is what happened. And as for the actual washer, completely wasted the box to a pulp. So I had a fun time cleaning that out. I also tried freezing a battle pack, and the next day I brought out my Snow Trooper clones to hopefully not get smashed by this sledgehammer. I managed to put a hole in it without destroying any of the pieces inside, but I noticed that some of them were actually frozen together, and so is the manual. For the next few, I wanted to poll the audience. So I asked you guys over on Instagram, and a ton of you guys answered. And I'm not gonna lie, some of them were pretty sus. But okay, Andra, let's cut a square. Done. Knife in the middle and then rip apart?
Yeah!
Make a small slit and put a mini explosive in it. Cut all the images out? Ooh, I like it. Run over it with a car.
Really good. That's it. Nice. Not even bad. I'll just discount this one. 5% off.
Set it on fire. Honestly, I didn't want to do this because burning the plastic would smell terrible, and it turns out I was right. I wouldn't recommend. Stab, stab, stab. Okay, we're gonna try this, but with a number 2 pencil. Highly recommend doing this as an outlet. It was very therapeutic. Making a huge hole in the box. Okay, that's not very effective. Let's just try ripping the thing apart. Cut it in half with a chainsaw? Well, I don't exactly have a chainsaw, but I do have this. Look at that clean cut. Didn't even graze the bag. Fork. Okay, let me just finish my breakfast first. And since we've now used a fork and a butter knife, we can't leave out the spoon. And since we're dealing with utensils, might as well slap it to death with a spatula. I also saw somebody use a bread knife before, which I thought was really satisfying. I also saw a comment about just cutting the top right corner, and wow, it looks like cereal. Try to cut it through the middle with a toothbrush. This next one was a very specific request that required me to do a bit of research, but after carefully observing the technique, I think I got it. Since we're on the topic of martial arts, let's see how fast my reflexes are. Backed by popular demand, let's throw it at Dougie. Speaking of weird ways to destroy a box, do you ever get a package from UPS and it just kind of turns out a little bit like this? Dude, those pieces went like all the way over here. Well, since we're already outside, I figured we might as well get some recreational activity in. So I tried cherry bombing it.
I'd give that one a 10 out of 10.
Slapshotting it.
Okay, ready? Okay, hit it already.
Which Dougie absolutely destroyed. And lastly, it just completely obliterated it with this police baton. And just like that, we've reached... Oh wait, the box in the lake.
How you feel?
Tired. Finally, with a little help, I managed to open all 50 battle packs, which means...
This is where the fun begins.
If you've ever pulled out minifigures from sets, you know that it can be a pain. To make sure I got them all, I sorted them in this tray, and then consolidated them into containers, so it was really satisfying. Then, to efficiently assemble my army, I placed 10 legs across and 10 legs deep to efficiently assemble 100 troops on this base plate, which means that when I'm finished, I'll have an entire company of 501st Troopers. I also had a big brain moment.
I'm just a simple man.
And stacked all the heads together to create the fastest cloning facility the world's ever seen. To finish these, we just need to add the helmets, and this part definitely took a while. Like, this was the actual speed. A few hours later, I ended up with an entire base plate. So now, I just need to do that again. The only difference this time though was adding the jet troopers with the jetpack piece. They have the blue arms and the unique helmets too. And adding these 2 base plates to my current clone army put me at a total of 468 clones. But I felt like I could do a little better. And thanks to you guys, I received 12 clones in the mail, including this P2 Wolfpack trooper, which was extremely well timed. So big shout out to the Bob Squad for coming in clutch. Then I went through and recruited a few special and ranked clones to lead the army. I also swapped them over to a larger base plate so that it would look better, and in the end I managed to amass an army of 501 clone troopers, which I felt was only fitting for this video. In fact, this entire video was done in collaboration with BrickLi, as he's attempting to break the massive world record for assembling an army of over 40,000 clone troopers. So make sure you go check out his video to see the progress he's made so far, and if you want to join the cause, consider donating to his GoFundMe page or by sending physical clones to the P.O Box in the description below. This is by far the most insane challenge to attempt and will cost tens of thousands of dollars, but we can't let LEGO have their own world record. So go support him and make sure to take some inspiration from this video and smash the like button.